Good morning. Well, we made it through the night. It was a great night's sleep actually in Fort Dummer State Park in Brattleboro, Vermont. But this morning we got up bright and early, far before the sun rose, and got everything packed up here in our car home for the week and started making our way through New Hampshire up into Maine. We're in Milford, New Hampshire right now. It is absolutely adorable here. The thing that strikes me the most about this part of New Hampshire, this like southern part, it reminds me so very much of driving through eastern Tennessee. So much. It's very hilly, it's very lush, and you just keep popping into these absolutely adorable towns. And Milford is just precious. It's absolutely precious. I stopped by Union Coffee Company. I got a little dirty chai and also a little croissant for breakfast. Oh, that's the other thing. When I was entering New Hampshire, the state's welcome sign said, it said like welcome to New Hampshire, but it also said bienvenue, like it was French. So I'm curious about that. I'll need to do a little internet sleuthing to figure out what that's all about. But we're going to hit the road. We're going to kind of circle through Milford and then make our way back through the hills of New England up into Maine. We're hoping today we'll spend the day in Acadia and Bar Harbor. It should be another stunningly beautiful day today. So yeah, let's hit the road and I'll see you again soon.
As I crossed the border into Maine, the first thing that caught my eye was this welcoming sign at the rest stop. It simply said, hopeful. Such a small word, but it set the perfect tone for the day. The drive itself was beautiful and surprisingly easy. Mile after mile, the scenery shifted from rolling forests to open stretches of sky. And then, when I got closer to Acadia, the coastal vibes started to take over. The air felt different, kind of briny and fresh. There were boats bobbing in the harbor, and every inhale had that mix of salty air and pine that is so uniquely Maine.
Well, we've made it. We are in Acadia National State Park, and it is really pretty. We found our campsite, Site 38 in Blackwoods Campground. I will say it's super crowded. There's no privacy. It's not an ideal spot for car camping, but I think it'll work for one night. There is direct access in the campground to the South Ridge Trail for Cadillac Mountain. And so we are making our way there right now, and it is really, really beautiful. The ground is really rocky and rooty. Is that a thing? So I'll show you as we kind of make our way. So you can see like the ground is just full of rocks. Just lots and lots. So going to just take it slow. I don't want to twist an ankle. And I do want to pay attention. So when I find something to see, I will check back in. Look at this little trail friend. Aww. So cute. More rocks, more roots. It is beautiful though. It's really pretty here. Okay, so we've done a little in the woods hiking, and now we're taking Ocean Path. And I mean, I'm standing out on the cliffs right now. Holy cow. I don't know if you can hear me over the wind. I didn't bring my little wind dead cat thing. But yeah, this is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me show you the view a little bit better. This lighting is awful. The sun is like, ooh, there it is. All right, let me show you a little bit better view. So I think the biggest struggle of today has been that the trails are really, really full. So when I was on the Ridge Trail, the Cadillac Ridge Trail, it was just packed, and it felt kind of weird taking out the camera to show. Look at this view. Felt kind of weird taking the camera out to show what was going on. But you saw, I mean, what you saw, there's just so much more to that. This is kind of the quietest it's been. It's around 3:30 in the afternoon, and this walk is just peaceful. Absolutely peaceful. There's a little lookout here, so I'm gonna let you see. So continuing on Ocean Path, we came to Thunder Hole a little ways back. Nothing much to see there. It's low tide, but if it were high tide, the waves crashing up apparently are pretty spectacular. So, but these views still can't beat this. This is gorgeous. Hello, future Kristen jumping in. I had mentioned I wanted to show you my day pack for hiking in Acadia, but I never did. I never filmed it. So I have everything here, or at least nearly everything here, and I will show you my pack and what's in it, and then also share a little bit about maybe what I wouldn't use a pack like this for. So let's jump into it. So this is my pack. It is an Osprey Daylight Plus bag, and it is super useful for a day pack, for a day out on the trail. It's very, very lightweight, and you can really pack it full. And the way that it's designed has really good distribution. I like it. I could even see using this as maybe a more traditional travel backpack and not just for day hiking. So its construction on the outside, it has two of these mesh elastic pouches, one on either side. And in mine for day hiking, I carried bear spray in one, and my a Clean Canteen water bottle with electrolytes in it. So those were on the outside. Now this pack has 3 zippered compartments and then one like pouch area. So I'll just break down what I had in each compartment. We'll start here with the smallest compartment. I do have an emergency whistle that I just keep here on the outside. It doesn't hurt to have an extra whistle. And then on the inside of this pouch, I have some extra carabiners in case I don't want to carry stuff, or if I need to hang something. These are just very useful in general. I also have some of these compostable bio bags. They're basically like, they're zip top bags, like what you would maybe use for food storage. In fact, these are food storage bags. I prefer them over traditional plastic because they're compostable, but they're also just super handy to have. This bag is water resistant, but not waterproof. And so in the event that I get stuck in a rainstorm, or if for some reason I needed to cross a very wet area and I was at all concerned about the safety of my phone or my camera, I could slip them into those bags, and that would be really helpful. Oops, my dimmer is tipping over. There we go. Now this front pouch here, oh, I have stuff from today in there. This front pouch is quite deep. You can see it's very large. I don't use this for anything, or I haven't day hiking. It's kind of open, although you do have these clips on the side
that do hold it closed. It's gusseted, so you can see you could really fit a lot in there. I just don't really use it for anything. I'll leave those open because it makes it easier to get into this next pouch. This next zippered compartment is also pretty big. It goes down about halfway the length of the bag, or the depth of the bag. And in it I have, let's see, on this side I have sunscreen and hair ties, some hand sanitizer, some chapstick, some bug spray. I love this stuff. This is really, really great. And then on this side, I have my flashlight, my storm matches. These are really useful for lighting a fire even when they're wet. A traditional lighter, and my funnels. If you know, you know. And then I think that's it. Yep. This bag has a built-in clip, so if you wanted to clip your keys in, you could. And then in the largest compartment, I have a bag of food. So this is great because you can add cool water, and it's a complete meal. So it's just super easy to have in your bag. It barely weighs anything. It's only 3.4 ounces. And in the event that I were to get stuck, it's nice to have a meal option. I also carried with me some snacks. So I had some almonds, and I had some like plant-based jerky, which is just yummy to me. So I cleaned these out when I got done hiking. That's why they're empty. I have a microfiber cloth. I have a life straw. This is just one of I think the original life straws. These are really great. I've never needed to use one, but in the event that you run out of water and you need water, you can use this in essentially any body of water, and it filters out 99.9% of icky stuff. So you can learn more about it by going to their website, but it's like $15 or $20, something like that, to have. It lasts until you use it, and even then you can keep using it basically until you can no longer pull water up through the straw. So it feels like money very well spent, and I've actually taken these with me when I've traveled internationally to bring to places that don't have access to clean water because they're so affordable and they're so lightweight and easy to carry. I just think they're great, and it's an easy thing to throw in a pack, and then you never need to worry about access to clean water. I also have in here a first aid kit. This one is rated for 3 people on a 2-day hike. It's really full. It has all of these things. I always make sure that it's full, and then in addition to this, I also have, I take medicine for vertigo and migraines, so I have those medicines in here just in case something should happen while I'm out. I also have an emergency bivvy, which is essentially, well, it's like a shelter, but like a sack. If I were to get stuck out overnight, it's good just to have something that will protect you. The National Park Service recommends what they call 10 essentials, and shelter is one of them. So if you're hiking for any length of time, they recommend taking those 10 essentials, and a shelter is one of them, and a bivvy counts as a shelter. And this also comes with a built-in whistle and tinder cord if you need to start a fire. Presumably, if you're lost somewhere overnight, you're probably going to want a fire. And then I just have my rain shell. This is an REI brand rain shell. It's waterproof. It's very lightweight. It's super easy to pack. It's very comfortable. And I sized up just a little bit so that I could wear it over top of like a sweatshirt or something if I'm hiking in cooler weather. The other thing that I did have with me yesterday that I don't have in here now is the water bladder. So this bag is equipped with a pocket here in the back where you can thread, and you can see here it says H2O, you can thread a straw from a water bladder up through the bag, and then on the straps it has an elastic kind of loop that you can feed that straw through. So I did take my filled water bladder with just basic water yesterday as well. And the other thing that I had on me and always have on me were other personal safety and protection items. I don't share what those are publicly. The other thing I had in my bag yesterday, and I always have on me, within reach whenever I'm anywhere, hiking or camping, are personal safety things. So I'm not going to disclose what those are, again, because of safety. I'd encourage you to do some research on what those might be and what you'd be allowed to bring in whatever area you're visiting, because it can sometimes be different. Different places have different rules. But bear spray and other personal protective stuff I always have on me because they work really well on people. I also hear they work really well on bears. But in all seriousness, I want to keep myself safe and protected. I want to feel safe and protected. I've never felt a need on a trail to kind of disclose that I have those things on my person, but I know that they're there, and that gives me some comfort that if ever I encounter either an animal I'm not comfortable with or a human that's acting in a way that is making me feel unsafe, that I can protect myself. I'm grateful for that. So I did say this pack would be really great for day use. I do have with me what the National Park Service calls the 10 essentials, and you can look that up for a more thorough list. I'm not pretending to be an expert here, but I do have all of those things in my day pack. However, I would not recommend carrying a pack like this if you intend to go overnight, or if you'll be hiking multiple days without going back to some sort of home base. So for me, in Acadia, I did do several hikes, but after each hike, I had the option, if I chose, to go back to the car, which was my home base, and replenish my food supply, replenish my water, just take a breather if I needed to. And I did do that a few times. I went back and filled my water back up because it was really hot. Gosh, I think it was like 82 degrees yesterday, way warmer than I thought, and I'm not complaining, but I definitely went through water really quickly. So I wouldn't recommend carrying a pack this size if you don't have the ability to go check in at a home base after your hikes. I also wouldn't recommend carrying a pack like this if you know you're going to be in cold weather or wet weather. Like I said, this pack is water resistant, but not waterproof. You can buy a shell for it, like one of those like rain covers for your backpack. I've heard mixed reviews on them and this bag. If I were doing something in weather, if I knew it was going to storm and I still chose to hike on those days, I'd probably just take a different pack with me. And also cold weather. I don't have cold weather things with me at all. In Acadia, it's not known this time of year to have unpredictable weather, like, I don't know, hiking in the White Mountains, for example, which, you know, you can have a beautiful afternoon and all of a sudden you're dying of hypothermia because crazy weather sets in. That isn't the reputation at Acadia, so I felt comfortable with what I had. I did have my rain shell. I'm trying to remember. I did have a long sleeve shirt in my bag yesterday too. I forgot about that. Just in case, mostly in case I got sunburned and then I started to get chilly. Yeah, so that's what I brought in my pack yesterday. So now I will send you back to the pastime to continue yesterday's video.
Okay. That was really fun. That was a fun day of hiking. I'll do a recap later that kind of goes over all of the trails that I took today. Unfortunately, the 2 trails that I took earlier in the day were completely packed. It was kind of awkward to pull out my camera because there was no way to not capture other people, and I always just get a little bit uncomfortable about having other people in videos, and there were a lot of kids. So anyway, I just chose to not pull my camera out very much. On the ocean path, surprisingly, it was the least populated trail of the day, so I was able to capture some footage. I did have some moments where I was the only person around, so that was really peaceful. But now it's about, I was looking for my phone. It's almost 5 p.m. and so we're gonna head into the little downtown area of Bar Harbor for the evening, do some shopping, maybe get a treat before heading back to the campground.
Bar Harbor instantly stole my heart. From the moment I stepped out of the car, I was surrounded by its charm, with colorful buildings and streets lined with shops that almost beg you to come inside. There's a little bit of everything here: boutiques, art galleries, and bookstores, and best of all, most of them are dog-friendly. So as you stroll, you'll see happy pups waiting outside doorways, or sometimes coming right inside, greeting customers like they own the place. I'm really excited to be able to bring our dog Clover here when we come back in the fall. One shop that really stood out to me was called In the Woods. It's a rustic wooden store complete with a giant wooden rocking horse right in its center. It felt like something out of a storybook. After browsing for a while, I grabbed a refreshing blueberry iced tea because when you're in Maine, it almost feels like a requirement to have blueberries in some form. With drink in hand, I headed toward one of Bar Harbor's most unique features, the Bar Island Path. During low tide, the ocean pulls back just enough to reveal a wide sandbar that stretches right out in the middle of the harbor. You can actually walk all the way to Bar Island itself and explore the trails. But timing is everything, and the tide does come back in quickly. If you get caught on the island when it does, there's a hefty fee to be ferried back. Since it was already getting late, I decided not to risk it and instead wandered along the sandbar itself, where there is so much to see. Tiny creatures were darting in the shallow pools, crustaceans hiding amongst the rocks, and ribbons of seaweed danced gently with the water's movement. Even without making it all of the way to the island, it felt magical, like walking right into the middle of the sea without ever getting wet. Bar Harbor has this rare combination of small-town coziness and stunning natural beauty, where every street and shoreline invites you to slow down, take a breath, and soak it all in. It's the kind of place that makes you wish you had just one more day.
Bar Harbor is positively adorable. We're making our way back to the car now, but I can't wait to tell you all the fun things that we did here, including my blueberry iced tea. Absolutely perfect way to end the day.
The next morning, I was up before the sun and made my way to a quiet, hidden overlook. As the light broke over the horizon, the sky shifted through layers of deep gold and soft pink, one of the most striking sunrises I've ever seen. The early start was worth every minute. But then it was time to head back to the car, get ready for the next adventure. Thank you for coming along on this journey with me. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video.